Yo, Team Digerin is here today, and well, y'all. This your boy Spiky Fox, and we are here with I'm here with the Realm Breaker crew, man, and we are back again for another death battle reaction, man. Today we got Simone the Digger versus Kyle Rayner, two of my number one favorite anime of all time, and my favorite, my number one, yeah, my number one favorite freaking DC character of all time, going head to head with each other, man. But I ain't gonna talk too long, man. Go ahead and introduce yourself, people.
Yeah, you go first.
You already know what it is, your girl, Lady A. Here to make your day and put a smile on your face.
And yo, what's good, y'all? My name is Gavin of the Cool Kids Call Me GT, and we back. Simone the Digger versus Kyle Rayner. Gurren Lagann versus the White Lantern. This is a death battle we've actually been anticipating, like wholeheartedly.
Wow.
Like ever since Death Battle came back and they put up their polls on who they're gonna have for their next death battles. We got Simone the Digger and Kyle Rayner. And the fact that I showed it to Spiky Fox and he was just waiting, he was just anticipating, waiting for this death battle to happen. I know I was too. So, with that being said, like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the bell notification so you guys don't miss any of our videos. And follow all our social media garbage. And of course, I'm going to say go buy Lady a book. It's 99 cents. It's damn near
Damn
free.
near free.
So, with that being said, original videos in the description if you don't want to see our reaction. So, with that being said, let's watch this most anticipated death battle that we have been waiting for.
Simone the Digger, Kyle Rayner, the White Lantern. Two men born of Earth with the willpower to pierce the heavens and conquer infinity. He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick. And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
Oh, man. Here we go.
Deep underground, Jiha
Simone
Village
first.
lived in dreary isolation, oblivious to the wider
You better
world
call you
above
folks
their
out on their
squalid
bullshit if they
cave.
do,
That's
Devin.
where the hero
You
of
know
our
too much
story
about
comes
this.
in.
Both
The
of
young
them.
man who would lead his comrades into the sunlight at last. Kamina, the great and mighty. Oh, and his little brother from another mother, Simone. He was there too, I guess. Simone was a digger, content to drill endlessly through the dirt, until the day he found the core drill. A key that activated the mysterious buried mech that Kamina named Lagan. Under his magnificently masculine leadership, Kamina finally drilled their way to freedom, seeing the sun after a life in the dark. But the sky was by no means the limit. The surface was ruled by the cruel chimeric beastmen, and Kamina would lead his compatriots against them to reclaim the Earth for humanity, scoring a second mech in the process, aptly named Gurren. And as befits Kamina and Simone's unbreakable brotherly bond, Gurren and Lagan merged, creating Gurren Lagan. With Kamina piloting the body and Simone the head, these two were unstoppable. Of all the giant fighting robots in all the animes across history, Gurren Lagan might just be the absolute coolest, fueled by its pilot's willpower and capable of making any weapon they can imagine, including missiles, a jetpack, a sunglasses boomerang, and of course, drills! Wrist-mounted drills, kunai drills, shield drills, kamehameha drills, and everyone's favorite, the Giga Drill Bureku! Side note, it is so funny that the only thing they could think of was drills. That's like if I made booze or something my whole personality. What up? With Gurren Lagan's awesome power, Kamina laid waste to enemy forces, liberated human villages, and fomented a rebellion against the Beastmen King, Lord Genome. Until Kamina died. Oh, wait, shit, was that supposed to happen? Nope, and it was all Simone's fault. He let his willpower waver, and his soul brother paid the price. After all, he was just a humble digger, at home in the darkness, guided solely by the light of Kamina's spirit. So his big bro left him with these final words. Have faith in the Simone who believes in you. Damn. Kamina was the one looking up to him the whole time. It was Simone who found Lagan, Simone who pierced the surface, and Simone who would now lead humanity to victory. Especially with his gal pal Nia at his side, who helped pull him out of his rut and kick Lord Genome's ass. But victory only lasted 7 years before the anti-spiral attacked.
Unimaginably powerful godlike aliens, the anti-spiral feared humanity's potential, what they dubbed the spiral nemesis.
Remember how Gurren Lagann runs on fighting spirit? Turns out that's just a manifestation of spiral power, an energy that all spiral beings, like humans, have. That's right, the laws of physics run on chutzpah.
Just as the spiral turned inward represents
Ah.
endless obsession and madness,
Ah.
the spiral turned outward
Hey,
extends forever
what's
into
up?
infinity, the perfect representation of humanity's evolutionary potential.
Potential Simone would use as he led Team Dai Gurren across the multiverse to take the fight to the anti-spiral. And this is when Gurren Lagann gets crazy.
Channeling spiral power lets
So
you
that's
constantly
where those
adapt to threats,
motherfuckers are
no
from?
matter how overwhelming. Simone can
Oh,
create portals to
kiss
different
my
realities
ass.
and higher dimensions. He can generate force fields, absorb energy attacks, and even merge Gurren Lagann with bigger and stronger machines.
Creating the Arc Gurren Lagann, which is strong enough to shatter space and time with a punch.
Or the Super Galaxy Gurren Lagann, which can fire lasers that are fast enough to hit, and I quote, all time, space, and dimensions, all within a Planck instant.
That's the smallest unit of time physically possible.
Meaning each laser would have to be moving 4.6 times 10 to the 117th power times faster than light. Oh, well, looks like this wins the award for fastest calculated speed feat in our show's history. Congratulations, Gurren Lagann.
Move over, SpongeBob. You've been dethroned. Oh, and the guidebook says they hit an innumerable number of enemies across infinite universes. You literally cannot calculate how fast that is.
But it wasn't enough to escape the anti-spiral's greatest trap, the multiverse labyrinth, an attack that imprisons Simone in his own unique multiverse, forced to experience an infinite number of alternate realities that controlled his mind, permanently arresting him in a dream world.
Except Simone and his spiral power are just built different. And after being inspired by his bro, Simone absorbed that whole multiverse to escape.
What makes this even more impressive is that this labyrinth was 11-dimensional, meaning Simone absorbed a higher dimensional structure several orders of infinity greater than himself. The jump between dimensions is basically infinite. Each new dimension adds a new direction of space that extends infinitely, thus an infinite gap in size and scope.
What?
Oh, we're just getting started. Imagine a 2-dimensional drawing interacting with a 3-dimensional person.
Okay. That's not too far off from what actually happened.
Because when Simone absorbed the multiverse labyrinth, he merged with every alternate universe version of himself, including an alternate universe Simone who is writing his own alternate universe version of Gurren Lagann. And that author's spiral power made his fictional Simone real, adding another to the mix.
Wait, if every human being has spiral power, you're telling me we can all do this shit?
This all gave our Simone enough spiral power to form the next step in mecha evolution, Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann.
This is when Gurren Lagann gets actually fucking crazy. Like shooting missiles that alter probability so they have a 100% chance of hitting you, or tossing galaxies around like frisbees. Sorry, did I say galaxies? I meant universes.
Simone's power was so immense that he started generating super spiral space, a higher dimension encompassing our own universe.
With it, Simone turns his thoughts into reality, letting him create his mech and all of its weapons in the first place.
Not only does this mean he no longer needs co-pilots, he can also regenerate any damage done to him or his mech just by willing it back into existence.
Like when Lord Genome used spiral power to survive quantum breakdown, or the time Nia, now the best wife in the universe, used
Damn right.
spiral power to constantly regenerate her body from being erased at the informational level for 7 days straight.
Information in physics is essentially the ones and zeros that make up every possible outcome in reality. Nia literally regenerated from the statistical certainty of her own destruction.
If I have spiral power, whiz, when the fuck is my leg growing back?
When even this was not enough for the anti-spiral, Simone evolved one more time.
Into Super Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann!
This mech is so big, its size is literally incalculable. And with a drill somehow even larger than that, Simone and his friends shattered the anti-spiral once and for all.
Hey, cruel indifference of the universe! Meet the indomitable human spirit!
Proving Kamena's words prophetic, that Simone's drill is the drill that would pierce the heavens.
With no more worlds left to conquer, Simone chose to wander the earth for the rest of his days, in service to others.
Always looking up, for all the lights in the sky are stars, and every star another world of spiral cousins that can live free.
All thanks to a humble digger.
Bacon and eggs.
God dang! Look at Lady.
They basically got it. They basically got everything right.
They got everything right, huh?
Basically, only small, minute detail was that he was more than just a digger. Like there were more than one digger. All humans lived underground because the beastmen kind of like subjugated them to live underground and made them do that. So when you had people who were diggers, when the population in the village got too big, they're basically digging it so they can make the village bigger for more people. And Simone was an orphan. Kamen is not really his brother. Simone, his parents died in a cave-in, basically. So, but yeah, like that was the only thing I was really.
No,
was
Kamen
like,
was his brother, just not his brother by blood. By
Yeah,
bond.
yeah.
By another mother.
Yeah, that was his big bro. But that was the only thing that I really was like, okay. But they got everything right. Also, they didn't really explain what the anti-spirals were completely. Like the anti-spirals are also spiral people who they felt like we're getting too fucking strong, so they halted their evolution. That's why when you saw that black face, like lady, when you saw that black face, that's the leader of the anti-spirals. But when they halted their evolution, a lot of them look like that, and then they evolved themselves to have like a hive mind. So when you're fighting one, you're basically fighting like all of them. So they felt like, hey, we're also spiral people. We see how powerful we can get, and the stronger we get, then like it's most likely other spirals are gonna get that powerful. They're gonna get corrupted. They're gonna start fucking up the universe. So we're here to kill some of y'all or kill a lot of y'all so y'all don't get to that point. So they basically, like, the anti-spirals had their own type of like righteousness. They were like the bad guy that thought he was a good guy, but that was really like their overall like plan. Like, hey, like even when you watch that final fight, they're like, hey, like you have taken your spiral power and you got drunk off of it. That's why you're getting this freaking strong. And when Simone killed the anti-spiral, the anti-spiral told him and said, hey, protect the universe. And he was like, yeah, he said, yeah, we'll protect the universe from anything. So like, even though we really don't know truly what the spiral nemesis is, but at the same time, it was like the anti-spiral was technically like, yeah, we need to protect the universe, but he did it in a fucked up way. But yeah, but other than that, they basically got everything. They basically did that. Yeah.
All right, so that was in the corner, Simone the Digger. In the next corner, Rayner, the White Lantern.
The universe is a dangerous place. Should you find yourself face to face with an interdimensional vampire, alien dictators, or this one really pissed off cat, you know who to call.
The Green Lantern Corps. They're the Space Fuzz, an intergalactic police force founded billions of years ago by blue leprechaun gods.
And the greatest Green Lantern among them was everyone's favorite, Hal Jordan.
You know him. You love him. You might hate him. But you gotta respect the man with a will as unbreakable as Hal's.
Until the day his will broke.
After his hometown got completely obliterated, Hal lost his mind. He rampaged through the core, killing everyone in his path, and absorbed the central power battery, the literal Green Lantern.
Becoming the Emerald Tyrant, Parallax.
There was only one survivor of Parallax's killing spree. Ganthet. And with what remained of his strength, he gave the last Green Lantern ring in the universe to a human, Kyle Rayner.
So, was Kyle picked for his indomitable willpower like Hal was?
He was just there. He had no idea what was going on. Must feel good being given the most dangerous magical weapon in existence to figure out on your own. Hey, if Colonel Sanders, Daffy Duck, Space Wheat, and a sentient fox can master it,
Daphne Duck
what's
is
your
crazy.
excuse, Kyle?
The Green Lantern ring can do anything, fulfilling any wish its user desires as though it were a genie from a lamp.
It lets you fire energy blasts, create force fields, affect gravity, turn invisible and intangible, manipulate matter, time travel, warp reality, and erase things from existence.
Think we're exaggerating? Well, consider the time Kyle stretched the very fabric of space to increase the Planck length a billion times over. That's like stretching an inch into a light year.
Lanterns control time and space, letting them fly so fast they can create a Speed Force singularity.
Tapping into the Speed Force requires entering a higher dimension of space,
Hey, Flash.
requiring speeds that are not only faster than light, but totally immeasurable. And the rings have an artificial intelligence that operates just as fast, automatically protecting its user from danger.
Like the time that Poozer Kilowog survived being erased from existence by the Crisis on Infinite Earths.
The ring is fueled by its user's willpower and limited only by their imagination.
While Hal may have had the greatest willpower in the Corps, Kyle's imagination is unmatched, probably because he's a comic book artist. And we know from this show, they think of some wild shit.
But the Green Lantern's most recognizable ability is their constructs, Kyle's speciality.
Samurai armor, pirate ships, giant dragons, actual working home computers, and his favorite, super fighting robots. Hey, that one looks familiar.
Kyle can make them strong enough to lift the Spectre, who weighs as much as eternity.
Or hold back a 12.3 dimensional Big Bang. Wait, 0.3? DC's multiverse has 12.3 dimensions? That is the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
The ring's only downside is that it's limited to 24 hours before needing a recharge.
So it can blow up universes, but it has the battery of an iPhone. Never mind, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Although I'd say Kyle's biggest weakness was Kyle. With great power came no responsibility.
Perhaps
Wow.
a manifestation
Kyle's
of
kinda-
Kyle's
Kyle's
self-doubt.
kind of a dumbass.
Any reflection came too late, though, when one of Kyle's villains brutally murdered his girlfriend, Alex, and put her body in a fridge.
Kyle wasn't the only one traumatized.
Yeah?
This moment was so infamous, it started the trope called fridging.
For how female characters are often sacrificed as mere plot devices to further a male character's development.
So it might surprise you that it happened to Kyle again.
Kyle finally got serious.
What the
He became
fuck?
a prominent member of the Justice League, faced off against Hal, and even rebuilt the Green Lantern Corps better than ever.
But little did he know, this torchbearer's greatest journey had only just begun.
In order to save Ganthet from an emotional lobotomy, it's a long story, he had to master all the colors of the emotional electromagnetic spectrum.
There are 7 colors, each representing a different emotion. The
7
yellow light
chakras.
of fear lets Kyle manipulate the worst horrors in your mind. The more scared you are of him, the stronger he becomes.
Orange light is fueled by bottomless avarice, possessing Kyle to absorb not merely his enemies' attacks, but also their souls.
Red is rage, ripping out Kyle's heart and replacing his blood with napalm, which sounds like it sucks, but it's metal as hell.
Blue light is powered by hope and allows Kyle to heal wounds, resist mental domination, and supercharge his ring.
Indigo is compassion, reducing his opponent's will to fight and letting him open portals across space, connecting him to others.
The final one was the sapphire light of love. With it, he can trap enemies within crystal matrices and control their minds. But Kyle only mastered it by forgiving himself for Alex's tragic death.
Oh, self-love. I get it. Must be nice. And with their powers combined, he doesn't just make his enemies taste the rainbow.
The lights of the spectrum merged, and Kyle became a White Lantern with total control over the power of life.
Wiz, I cannot think of an attack more useless in a death battle than something that makes you live.
Empowered by the physical embodiment of all life in the DC multiverse, Kyle is vastly more powerful than any other lantern in existence.
Far stronger than Hal, who could harness the energy of every power battery across the multiverse.
Not only can Kyle instantly heal all wounds, purify corruption, and resurrect the dead, the white light of life is strong enough to go up against threats to all of creation, like the Anti-Monitor.
Okay, so it's not totally useless.
Especially after Kyle visited the Source and acquired the life equation.
The
Essentially the source code to reality, the life equation is mathematical proof that life is worth living.
With it, Kyle can alter all of reality at a whim, even threatening the new gods like Darkseid.
The life equation, like its counterpart, the anti-life equation, is a conceptual artifact from a higher reality, originating in a platonic realm that is, in a sense, more real than we are.
So it's not a shock that the equation made Kyle too powerful.
He struggled to control it, and it subconsciously manifested a being composed of his fears and anxieties. Oblivion. Kyle's greatest weakness is still himself.
Kyle spent his whole life struggling with the power that the gods granted him, and throughout it all, he always rose to the occasion, carrying the universe on his back.
But ultimately, the only way to stop power from corrupting is to spread it. So Kyle split the life equation into pieces to found his second core, the White Lanterns. And together, they shattered Oblivion, destroying the self-doubt that plagued Kyle once and for all.
Not bad for a comic book geek from LA.
And now he was the one giving out rings of unlimited power to people who weren't sure if they could command it.
So he told them the truth. You can't teach someone how to use such power. You have to learn yourself, making mistakes along the way.
But with the power of life at their command, there's no end to their journey, only endless beginnings.
First of all, I feel like if you want to become a White Lantern, you gotta go through all that bullshit he went through instead of
Facts.
just being given a ring. Fuck that shit.
Yeah.
Facts.
like,
At one point- at one-
wholeheartedly. That's what I
At-
believe.
Because at one point, the entire Justice League became White Lanterns. It was only for a short amount of time, but yeah, they all became White Lanterns at one point. The only thing that really can defeat a White Lantern, or a White Lantern's biggest op, is a Black Lantern, and they represent death. Then yeah, when you like, in order to become a Black Lantern, I basically like take a Black Lantern ring, I put it on top of your grave, it sinks into your grave, your hand comes back out with the freaking ring on or whatever, and their suit is like black and it's the same symbol but it's upside down type shit. But yeah, they got that.
So you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna ask you. Who you rooting for, Devin?
Simone.
Okay.
I'm rooting for Simone off the cuff. Like that's my nigga. But I mean, I love Kyle. Like his books are like the only ones I really his stuff is only out of all my favorite DC characters. He's one of the ones that I only fuck with like the most. And when they said Blue Lanterns, I was like, hell yeah, because that's my favorite Lantern Corps. But
Okay.
yeah.
You know what, dog? I'm just ready to see Death Battle now. Shit.
Yeah,
Like-
lady,
like-
I want to let it go ahead. I want to hear your thoughts real quick because I know from both of them motherfuckers, it was a lot.
Was a lot. Like both of y'all have infinite amount of powers that exceed reality, galaxies, life, death. And
They
it's
do whatever
just
the fuck they
like
want to do.
literally both of y'all have that.
So wouldn't this technically just be like willpower versus imagination?
And that's where I was about to get, because that's both of y'all can literally create a fragment of whatever. One has to create anything out of will, the other one has to create anything out of imagination. The only thing that I would say I'm calling on White Lantern because imagination has a wider spectrum than will, in my opinion.
Feel you on that, yeah.
Okay.
Because you can have a will to make time go back, but unless you can actually make time go back, it won't go back. So I'm betting on White Lantern at this point.
She going for Kyle. Okay.
The thing about it is I'm always in the middle, like 100%. And I've always been in the middle ever since we watched fucking James Bond versus John Wick. I've always been in the middle ever
That fuck was
since
wacky.
ever since that shit happened, I have been in the middle. So clearly, I'm gonna say the same thing I've always been saying. I don't care who wins. I just want to see where this shit gonna go. Same thing how we did with fucking Galactus versus Unicron. That shit was bonkers. This shit was
It
crazy.
was. It was everywhere.
For real. The motherfucker was spitting deadly bars. Like, what the fuck? Like both of them were. But okay. At long last, Simone the Digger versus Kyle Rayner. Good Logon versus the White Lantern. Let's do it.
Yeah, Giga Drill spin on.
Hey, remember Beerus versus Sailor Galaxia? No? Well, that's because it was taken off YouTube for being too anime. But we've got a solution.
Oh, for real?
It's our own website. That's
Oh, shit.
www.deathbattle.gg.
No,
it's
you
like
keep
our own
this
private
up.
Patreon.
That's
with a
why I
store,
couldn't find that
merch,
fight.
and a complete Death Battle video archive. It's got episodes that YouTube has banned, blocked, and censored, and there's even more goodies on the way. So check
y'all
out
got merch?
deathbattle.gg
Okay.
live right now.
Yeah. Get y'all money, man.
Shout
Get
out
that
y'all,
money.
Death
All
Battle.
right, the combatants are set, and we've run the data through all possibilities.
It's time for a
Hey, that's that Super Robot Wars, boy.
It was.
That's that Super
I'm
Robot
so
Wars,
fucking
boy.
happy they did that.
Oh, no.
Fuck. Oh, fuck.
All right, I'm not rusty at all.
Boy, trainer.
What
Hey
the fuck?
dude, Green Lantern Officer Kyle Rayner here. Ring says you've got a Class A galactic super weapon, whatever that is. I'm thinking it's the giant mech. Why don't you hand it over?
Gurren Lagann's mine, officer. Just who the hell do you think you are?
That nigga turned into Ball
Ball
Rock.
Rock.
I'm back here. Dragon.
I'm told I'm bad with authority.
Tell me about it. 4.
What the fuck?
Wow.
I think about it. This is real shit. Like this, they can do that.
No, I'm just saying what the fuck. Like, don't be disrespecting Simone like this, dog.
That's nothing. My drill will pierce the heavens.
Bro, don't start this shit already.
Take it to Gurren Lagann.
Shit. He turned into Superman.
Really cool.
Yeah.
No, fuck
With a
you.
shield and a sword.
No, fuck you for that. Fuck you for that.
Possible.
See the invisible.
Touch the untouchable.
Break the unbreakable.
Roll,
Wonder Woman
roll,
shield.
fight the power.
Now you know.
All the anime references, boy. Music hit too.
Simone the Digger. If there's a wall in my way, I'll smash it down.
Nigga, that's the wall.
Did he already become a White Lantern?
There we go.
Oh, shit.
Stop fighting. Think about your fear of death, your love of your friends, your compassion for me, your hope for the future. Choose life.
Have faith in the Simone that believes
Oh,
in
there
you.
go Kamen. My nigga. Let's go. Let's go, Kamen. Let's go, my nigga.
Gurren Lagann.
Let's go, Kamen.
Drill that will transcend the heavens. Giga drill free.
He took off the cape. Let's go. Oh, hell. Oh.
He said, "Fuck it, I can do that too."
Whoa.
That's dope as shit.
That is fire, though. I ain't go. Oh, no. Infinity. Oh, shit. Oh, my God.
The super weapon wasn't your mech.
It was me.
Then, Simone, I'm taking you in brightest day, in blackest night. No evil shall escape my sight. Let those who worship evil's might beware my power.
White Lantern. Yeah. Green Lantern's light.
Oh, shit. Oh shit. Oh!
See you grit those teeth!
Oh!
You'd make a good lantern.
Simone of Earth, you have been chosen.
Just who the hell do you think I am?
Let's fucking go, Simone!
Oh, for the guy with
Let's fucking go, Simone!
Okay, Simone.
Let's fucking go, Simone!
Let's go. Let's go. Okay.
Anime wins and beat the comic. Let's fucking go, Simone! Let's go, Simone!
Let's go.
Let's fucking go, Simone!
That was fucking epic, though.
Let's go! Let's go, Simone! Oh,
you,
he
brother.
did it! He fucking did it!
Never doubted you.
Oh, let's go! Oh,
That was better.
That was so fucking good. That was so
epic.
good.
That was, yeah. Wow.
Top.
Yeah. Oh man. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and see the feats. Let's see how Simone's win became possible.
Yeah.
with the snazzy sunglasses.
When both combatants possess unlimited power, it's hard to judge them by our normal standards. Take speed. Simone can hit an infinite number of targets all at once, and Kyle can fly fast enough to surpass the normal concept of speed itself.
When you control space and time, things like strength and speed kind of become irrelevant.
Instead, let's analyze them through a lens more applicable to beings as absurd as Simone and Kyle. Their imagination, their willpower, and their ultimate potential.
First up, imagination. The boundless things they could conjure to use against the other. Both could think up just about anything the other could, like absorbing each other's attacks, fighting across time, anything.
Simone did have a few attacks that Kyle hasn't encountered, like the probability-altering missiles, but it's likely Kyle could adapt considering his ring could protect against existence being erased across the multiverse.
And in general, Kyle's constructs were a lot more creative than Simone's arsenal, which was mostly drills. Though again, nothing Simone couldn't adapt to with, say, his energy absorption. Imagination is a draw.
That leaves the other main factor for both characters, the origin of their unbelievable might, their willpower.
And that's really gonna be the winning factor here, since it's the source of everything for both of them. Whoever's got the stronger willpower wins.
Both can manipulate reality on a multiversal scale with their willpower, but we can use dimensions to roughly calculate a difference. This might sound absurd for most characters, but it's necessary for beings as beyond the pale as Simone and Kyle.
The multiverse labyrinth that Simone absorbed contained 11 spatial dimensions. That's 1.3 dimensions less than the multiverse Kyle's power can threaten.
And remember, each numbered dimension infinitely surpasses the one below it.
Which meant Kyle's willpower was stronger at a base level. However, that doesn't necessarily mean Kyle gets the edge, because if there's one thing both of these guys are known for, it's that they can always get stronger.
So to determine the limits of their willpower, we first need to understand their full potential.
Simone's whole deal with spiral power is how he can constantly evolve to get stronger. So just because Simone starts off weaker doesn't mean he'll stay that way.
Absorbing the multiverse labyrinth required Simone to leapfrog several orders of infinity in an instant. Simone made himself that much stronger through sheer force of will.
More than enough to close the gap with Kyle, especially since spiral power also lets him regenerate his body down to an informational level. Kyle's never destroyed something that thoroughly before.
Without the ability to easily kill Simone, it was only a matter of time before Kyle's ring ran low on charge. Especially since Simone could likely regenerate for at least a week straight, like Nia did. While Blue Lantern Light could boost Kyle's power, he's never jumped several orders of infinity in strength like Simone has.
And while Kyle could manipulate emotions to reduce Simone's willpower, Simone resisting the labyrinth's mental manipulation meant he could power through anything Kyle threw at him.
Everything, that is, except for the life equation. It originated from a higher level of reality and would have more than even the odds.
Too bad Kyle couldn't control it. It was just as much a detriment to him as an asset, forcing him to relinquish it to keep from destroying reality and himself.
Compare that to Simone, who merged with a version of himself writing a version of Gurren Lagann, and using spiral power to make that fiction into reality.
A pretty similar level of reality to the life equation, and a level of power Simone had no trouble embracing and mastering by the end of his story. No matter how you look at it, Simone might start weaker, but his peak will always transcend Kyle's. Isn't that how all of Simone's battles usually go anyway? That's Gurren Lagann in a nutshell.
So Simone's incredible potential eclipsed Kyle, which means his willpower was ultimately greater. Kyle may have embodied life itself, but Simone's unstoppable evolutionary potential would shatter even this lantern's light.
I hope Kyle at least dug the fight, because when it comes to death battle losers, he was a dead ringer.
The winner is Simone the Digger.
Next time on Death
All right,
Battle.
who's next? Hey, yo. Whoa. They bringing the fight back. They're bringing the fight back.
Subscribe.
They're bringing the fight back. They're bringing the fight back. They are bringing.
Coyote versus Tomcat.
They are bringing the fight back. They are bringing the fight back. So,
Yeah, this was a fight that got canceled.
yeah. So before Death Note went on hiatus, this was supposed to be the fight that was supposed to happen after. The reason why Death Battle went on hiatus is because who were they? Rooster Teeth.
Rooster Teeth went through some bullshit.
Yeah, Rooster Teeth went through some bullshit, which means all the people who were associated with Rooster Teeth had to suffer. But they came back and they raised up enough money to bring back all these death battles and things of that nature. But they are bringing back Wile E. Coyote. But they're bringing back Wile E. Coyote versus Tomcat. Because the funny thing about it was that was a fight me and him was actually anticipating on watching as well. Because we know that fight was going to be wacky as fuck.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
they got to do Death Battle always does like their funny, goofy, kind of jokey fights, and this was, and they at least do like 2 or 3 of them a year, and this was going to be one of them. So we was really anticipating this. We finna see a lot of Toon Force wacky action going on between two guys who just can't get this bird and this goddamn mouse.
Literally, this is the battle between the two failures. Because Wile E.
Pretty much.
Coyote stay failing and Tom stay failing as well.
Yep.
But
Wow, that's a bet.
but let's talk about this death. But let's talk about this death battle. So the main reason why I was sitting up here watching the fight, and I was thinking, oh yeah, Simone probably gonna win this. And the reason why I say it's because Simone wasn't destined to do anything. He just had the willpower to do this shit, right, Devin? Like Simone wasn't really destined to do any of this.
Yeah, he was just thrown into this. He was just an innocent, timid kid.
Right. So
And he wasn't thinking about no type of future. He just thought he was just gonna be underground for the rest of his life.
right, exactly. So I feel like that's why willpower is so strong, because Kyle was chosen to be a Green Lantern. He did all the above and beyond stuff. Whereas with Simone was just thrown into it. He was like, well, fuck, I'm about to play the cards that life dealt me.
Yeah.
And basically, and after Kamina died, he went, we get through a few episodes where he's like in this deep ass depression and he's kind of ruthless and shit. So it's like when thanks to Nia, she got him out. Well, thanks to Nia and a few other friends, but mostly Nia, basically got him out that rut because Kamina was his rock. Kamina was that person that was like, hey man, believe in yourself. Like Kamina basically was the only person telling. They had this big ass team, but Kamina was the only person telling him like, hey, I believe in him. Like, and when everybody doubted Simone and whatever, Kamina was always him. So when he died, it was just like, I don't have that no more. So now I'm just fighting for him.
Right.
And I felt like it was my fault he died anyway.
Right.
Mm.
But man, that was so good. That was so
That
freaking. I
fire.
enjoyed that. In all honesty, we will also be reacting to Wile E. Coyote versus Tomcat because that's nostalgia.
That is.
Oh yeah, and that's a long time coming. We've been waiting for this fight a long time. We forgot all about this fight.
For real, like yeah. I ain't gonna lie, I forgot about it too. But because I think they said that was because Galactus versus Unicron was the season finale of that death battle season, and they
Yeah.
said that the first battle they was gonna do was Wile E. Coyote versus Tomcat, and
Yep.
now I'm ready. I'm ready to see it. Basically it's fucking Looney Tunes versus Hanna Barbera.
Yeah.
Like wholeheartedly, it's Looney Tunes versus Hanna Barbera.
Oh, that's gonna be
So
sick though.
for real, the funny thing about it is like now usually I don't make predictions, but the main person who I would probably think would win is Tom. And hold on, hear me out. And the reason why I say that is because there, if I'm not mistaken, there was never an episode where Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner had to work together. Whereas with Tom and Jerry, they had to work together on several occasions. Even in movies, they had to
True.
work together.
True. True.
So clearly Tom can put his differences aside if it's for, the betterment of him.
Yeah, and sometimes Tom has had a lot of moments where he did get over Jerry, but when it came down to Wiley and
Roadrunner.
Road Run. I often say Beep Beep because when I was a kid, I used to call I thought his name was Beep Beep, so
Me
I used
me.
to call him that. So it was like there you really haven't had like a lot of moments where Wiley was like got over Roadrunner because either his trap didn't work or Roadrunner was just like he's dumb. He's dumb, but he's like I guess he pretends to be dumb at some points because it's sometimes where he'll just move slightly to the left and then whatever contraption Wiley came up with just
I
blows
wouldn't
up in
say
his
he's
just
dumb.
just
I say he just
no.
possesses basic knowledge.
I'm saying I feel like yeah, he's basic knowledge guy, but I feel like he has his moments where he just like, oh, let me move slightly to the left, and then
Mm.
whatever contraption Wiley came up with just blows the fuck up. And also Wiley gotta have a lot of fucking money because he's just like, hey, Acme, I need a rocket launcher, a trampoline, and a
Uh,
freaking and a barrel of water, and he's like,
he got it in 2.2
he
seconds.
got into yeah. So it was like
And a
he
Superman
and
suit.
yeah, and then he'll just put it all together, and for a quick few moments, he'll be on Roadrunner's ass,
Mm-hmm.
and then something happens, something malfunction. He get too cocky, and then boom, he turned into
Every
dust.
time.
He turned
I
into dust and eat eyeballs on the ground.
I could have sworn there was like a plot twist where like you find out that the person who's the leader of Acme was Roadrunner himself, so he stays sending him malfunctioning shit just to fuck with him.
Well,
I don't
yeah,
remember that, but that would be dope.
at one point, I remember that, but at one point it was Bugs that was
Right.
sending.
Uh-huh.
Like Bugs would make cameos. He'd be like an employee of Acme or something, and just bring him shit and then leave. He'll look at the camera and then leave.
And there
Now
is
I do remember that.
yeah. And I believe there was a time where Wile E. Coyote actually went to go after Bugs a couple of times too.
Oh
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
But you already know Bugs ain't having that.
you ain't
Hell
getting
no.
Bug. Yeah,
Nah, that's the con artist right there.
But oh man, this felt good.
Oh yeah, yeah.
felt
This was my
felt
most
good.
this was my most anticipated fight of the fucking year. Like
My
you got
my fight of the year already happened, which was Joker versus Jorno.
Yeah, like because for me it was like a lot of my characters was fucking losing. You know, I lost with Bardock, I lost to Joker. I've been losing damn near all my fight. My most recent fight, our most recent was Shigaraki versus Mahito,
Mahito.
and then
Mm.
yeah, it was Mahito, and I was rooting for Shigaraki, and then like Shigaraki fucking won. I was like, God damn it, finally, you know. And fucking, spoilers. We're not watching the fight. Is old, but Spawn beat Ghost Rider, which pissed me the fuck off because it should be impossible, and I almost unsubscribed. But I was gonna unsubscribe if Kyle won. I swear to God, on my mama.
You said you were gonna unsubscribe if Kyle won.
won.
What the fuck, Devin?
Yeah,
But you like both these dudes though.
yeah, but that is my number one favorite anime of all time. I choose that anime over all anime. That's just how much of a Gurren Lagann fan I am. And if they had got the facts wrong, if they had got stuck, I would have had a lot more to fucking say. But
You'd be like, no, Death
they,
Battle, you shut the fuck up. I
yeah,
got this one.
yeah, but it's like they they
Uh,
they they did it. Like there might be a few nitpicks here and there, but at the same time, it's like y'all y'all didn't um
Y'all didn't make
y'all
neither
didn't
of them look weak or
yeah, and you
like.
didn't
at
do
all.
you didn't like devalue him in any type of way. And
Mm-mm.
you also combine the feats with the personality at the same time because his majority of his power and stuff comes from his personality at the same time too. So it's like you got it right. And then with Kyle, it's comics. Comics is always going to be complicated, convoluted, everything. And with Kyle, I think they did a pretty good. I think they did a pretty damn good job with Kyle too. There's still a few nitpicks and whatever still in there, but because the analysis is never going to be perfect, but it's pretty fucking good. You gave a lot of people enough information about Kyle. I just wish DC treated Kyle better after all that White Lantern shit. Because now he's back to being a Green Lantern, and every time he shows up, he gets his ass whooped.
Mhm.
But yeah, but yeah, man, 10 out of 10 fight. I was rooting for both. I was rooting for Simone, but I still wanted them to do Kyle justice, which
Do
they
you?
did,
Yeah, I about to say, do you feel like
and
in
I'm
this
glad.
they'll do Kyle? You want to know?
I'm
You
glad
you
they didn't kill him gruesomely.
right?
Mhm.
You want to know what I also need to say in regards to this? I'm surprised that there were no alternate endings.
Yeah.
Like
Oh
this
yeah,
is
I lost with Ashura too. Fuck.
like
You
this
reminded me
is
of that.
like this is the definitive ending of how this is gonna happen. There was no other way this could end, and
Yeah,
I
they
like
yeah.
that.
They also didn't say like either one of them could have won this fight. And they also didn't say like, hey, this is how many times Kyle will win
Or
out of
this how
fighting
many times
Simone. Then
Simone will
Simone will
win and
win.
things that
Yeah, they didn't
yeah.
do that.
This is the definitive end for them.
Yeah, this is it.
Mhm.
And you're right. I'm glad they didn't kill Kyle in like a real gruesome way, or anything of that nature.
We're
But
looking
Mhm.
but
we looking at we looking at you, Red from Pokemon.
as
He died horribly.
he did. He did. That motherfucker got hit with Terror Force by War Greymon like a
And
motherfucker.
it broke his legs and he couldn't get up. And then he all thing he could do was just lay there and die from the fire burning him alive. And this is a 10 year
Wild.
old. And it's a 10-year-old.
Wild.
Hold on. Who they said they was gonna do against Yugi? Cause I think Yugi Moto had something going on in this soon. Cause I could have sworn because that was a part of the Kickstarter, and I know they were gonna do Yugi versus someone I don't know. I forgot. Damn
Yeah,
it.
me too. We might have to look that up. All came.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But with that being said, y'all, we are done here. This death battle was fucking amazing. It was epic. I ain't gonna lie, although I say I was down to me, I was secretly rooting for Simone because I like anime over comics. Like I do. I don't give a fuck. Well, I like anime and manga over comics. So yeah, anime, manga, manga,
They kind of
manga.
like
Yeah,
they kind of like this
yeah, they
too.
kind of the same, but I also like the fact how one sticks to a particular story instead of one being episodic. Cause sometimes I can lose track of where that story is going in regards to a comic. I mean, I know if I pay attention to one series, I'm focused on that one series.
Yeah.
But then some shit where like a new hero shows up, you gotta read a certain series for them to see how they got there type shit. So
Yeah, like it'd be like one of those big you have those things where it's this big calamity event where like everyone's involved. So a lot of you'll have the main story, the main issues, and then you'll have like the tie-ins that go with it. So it's like you got this one thing, we're all fighting this one big thing together, but then you'll see how it all comes together once you read like the tie-in comics, and each tie-in comic might be like 2 3 issues of that, of how this connects to this connects, and it's just be yeah, it'd be a lot. Like yeah, when you want to read a certain run, you can read that certain run, but at the same time, a lot of stuff ties into other stuff.
Mhm.
So you'll have to you have to like you don't have to read the tie-ins. You could just read that whole event, and the whole event might just be 10 issues. You don't have to read the whole event, but if you want all the details and you want to know all the shit that was happening and whatever, you can read the tie-ins. But at the same time, it's a lot.
Yeah, but but anyway, y'all, we appreciate y'all for joining us. We appreciate y'all for sticking with us with the death battle reactions. Cause I've been watching. I appreciate y'all for giving us the views, the likes, and things of that nature. So with
Thank you
that
for all
being
the views on the epic stuff too.
oh yeah, absolutely. Thank you for all the views on the epic stuff as well. So of course, like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the bell notification. Also appreciate all the new subscribers out there as well.
Yeah, yeah, bro. Do it.
Road to 1K. That's what I'm gonna say right now.
We almost
Road to
there.
1K.
God
Yeah.
bless.
Yeah, road to 1K, and we're gonna keep it pushing. So with that being said, y'all, I'm GT. That's Spiky Fox. That's Lady A. Go buy Lady A book. It's 99 cents. It's damn
Damn
near
near free.
free. And of course, we are the Realm Breakers. So remember to keep breaking all the realms.
Here's in the motherfucking heavens.
One of the motherfucking time.
And we will catch you guys later. Peace.
Peace.